All right, thank you guys. The Raptors take on the Heat, and that's going to be a 1:30 p.m. Eastern tip-off. The Raptors are the 2.5-point favorite. No total posted as of yet. And if you like Miami to cover in this spot here, they're catching even money to cover the point spread. I'm 4-0 in my last 4 daily best play premium sports picks on patreon.com/BrockPage. I'm also 3-0 in my last 3 crowd pleaser teaser premium sports picks on that site as well. If you want access to these premium selections, link for that website is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, Miami's won just 15 out of 34 games away from the American Airlines Arena this season. They're also just 4-6 straight up in their last 10 meetings with the Raptors. They failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5 Atlantic Division games. They're also just 41% against the spread away from home this year. Dragic, Leonard, and Adebayo are all listed as questionable for this afternoon. Now, Toronto, on the other side, they're currently on a 5-game winning streak dating back to before and after the shutdown. They successfully covered the number in 4 out of those 5 contests as well. They're 23-9 straight up away from Scotiabank this season, and they rank in the top 5 in 3-point percentage. Pascal Siakam's averaging 24 a game, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Kyle Lowry's also dropping 20 a game as well. 5 rebounds, 7.6 assists for him. He actually ranks 7th in the NBA in assists right now. And of course, Freddie VanVleet, he's scoring 18 a game as well. 4 rebounds, 7 assists for him. The Raptors are currently 29 games above 500, and they find themselves in 2nd place in the Eastern Conference. Toronto's in the top 3 in points allowed, top 3 in defensive field goal percentage. And when it comes to the total in this one, 4 out of Toronto's last 6 games got over the number. They're also 70% to the over in their last 10 head-to-head meetings with Miami. And speaking of the Heat, they've gone 7-3 to the over in their last 10 ball games themselves. Hopefully you can catch a good number here and pound the over. But with all that said and done, we don't have a number for this game currently. But I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the Toronto Raptors -2.5, getting the job done against the spread. Before we go ahead and move on with some more free content here on YouTube, I just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for Monday's NBA basketball action. Happy Monday to you. Hopefully you had a great weekend, and we're going to go ahead and get a great start to another awesome week here for us here on YouTube. But before we dive into some more free content here, I just have to quickly remind you that we are currently 6-0 in our last 6 MLB tier package plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. We're also 3-0 in our last 3 crowd pleaser teasers on that site as well. If you want some more information on how you can join in on the action, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. Moving on, we got the Denver Nuggets taking on the OKC Thunder, 4 p.m. Eastern tip-off. Thunder's -4.5, totals 216 and a hook. The Nuggets are +150 to win it. And if you like the Nuggets to cover, they're -110 catching the points. Denver's dropped 3 out of their last 4 ball games and failed to cover in 5 out of their last 6. Barton's out, Harris is out, Kankar is out, and Jamal Murray is listed as questionable with a hammy. Denver's covered the number in just 14 out of 32 ball games away from the Pepsi Center this season. They're 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 games away from home as well. OKC on the other side, they are 1-0 in the bubble. Nice 16-point victory over the Jazz, where they held Utah to just 94 total points in that contest. OKC's 9-2 straight up in their last 11, dating back to the pre-shutdown days. They're currently in the top 5 in offensive field goal percentage, top 10 in points allowed. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scoring 19 a game, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Danilo Gallinari's dropping 19 a game as well, 6 rebounds, 2 assists for him. Chris Paul's dropping 18 a game, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. And one more thing to add about the Thunder. They rank in the top 5 in defending the 3 ball. Now, total-wise, 5 out of OKC's last 7 ball games stayed under the posted total. 8 out of their last dozen head-to-head meetings with the Nuggets stayed under the posted total as well. Meanwhile, on the Nuggets side of things, on the other side, they saw 4 out of their last 6 ball games stay under the number themselves. Give me the OKC Thunder minus 4.5 and the under 216 and a hook in that game. Next contest, Pacers Wizards 4 p.m. East. The Pacers are minus 7.5, totals 227 and a hook. The Wizards are plus 270 to win it. They're minus $1.10 to cover. And speaking of the Wizards, keep in mind Beal and Bertans are out. Matthews is questionable. Wall's out as well. The Wizards have dropped 5 out of their last 7, and they failed to cover the number in 71% of those ball games. Washington has won just 8 out of 33 games away from their home court this year. They rank in the bottom 3 in offensive rebounding, bottom 3 in points allowed. Now, they are currently 18 games below 500, and they are taking on a Pacers squad who's 7-2 straight up in their last 9, 78% against the spread in those very ball games as well. The Pacers rank in the top 3 in field goal percentage, top 5 in points allowed. TJ Warren's scoring 19 a game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Miles Turner is also scoring a dozen a game, 7 rebounds for him as well. Keep an eye on Oladipo and Brogdon, as those two are listed as questionable for tonight's action. Those guys a little bit banged up here day to day. Now, regardless of that, the Pacers have covered a solid 61% of their games away from the Bankers Life Fieldhouse this season. Now, total-wise, Indy's last 4 straight got over the number. Meanwhile, 4 out of their last 5 away from home also got over that number as well. 2 out of Washington's last 3 on the other side got over the posted total themselves. They were actually 22-11 to the over away from home this year. So with all that in mind, give me the Pacers minus 7.5 and the over 227 and a hook in that game. Next contest, Grizzlies Pelicans 6:30 p.m. East. The Pels are minus 4.5, totals 237 flat. Memphis is plus $1.50 on the money line. And if you like the Grizzlies plus the 4.5, they're minus 105 to cover. And despite being the underdog in this one, Memphis ranks in the top 10 in offensive field goal percentage, top 10 in offensive rebounding. John Morant's averaging 18 points a game, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. He actually ranks 11th in the league in assists on average per game. Jaren Jackson Jr., he's also scoring 17 a game, 5 boards and 2 blocks. And of course, the big guy, Jonas Valanciunas, he's scoring 15 a game along with 11 rebounds, which ranks 6th in the NBA in that category. The Grizzlies rank in the top 10 in defensive field goal percentage. Now, the Pels on the other side, they've lost their last 2 straight and 5 out of their last 7. New Orleans has also covered just 33% of their ball games in their last 9. They're currently in the bottom 5 in points allowed, bottom 3 in free throw percentage. And when it comes to the total in this one, the Pels' last 4 straight all fell under the posted total. They're currently 70% to the under in their last 10 as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Grizzlies side of things, well, they saw 7 out of their last 9 stay under the posted total themselves. So with all that said and done, give me the underdog Memphis Grizzlies plus 4.5 and the under 237 in that ball game. Next matchup, it is going to be the Spurs taking on the Sixers, 8 p.m. Eastern start time. The Sixers are the 7-point favorite, totals 228 and a hook. The Spurs are plus 230 to win it. And if you like San Antonio, plus 7, they're minus $1.10 to cover. But, despite being a fairly significant dog in this race here tonight, the Spurs are going into this evening's contest on a 3-game winning streak. They're also 3-0 against the spread in those ball games as well. The San Antonio Spurs are currently in the top 10 in scoring, top 5 in shooting the 3-ball. DeMar DeRozan scoring 22 a game, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Patty Mills is also averaging a dozen a game off the bench as well. DeJounte Murray, he's scoring 11 a game, 6 boards, and 4 assists for him. Now the Spurs are in the top 10 in offensive field goal percentage, top 3 from the stripe. They're taking on a Sixers squad who was horrible away from home this season, just absolutely embarrassing when they travel. Philly's also dropped 4 out of their last 6 ball games, and they rank in the bottom 10 in scoring. And speaking of the scoring in this one, the Sixers saw their last 7 straight get over the posted total. 6 out of their last 7 meetings with the Western Conference got over the number as well. Meanwhile, the Spurs on the other side of things, well, they saw 5 out of their last 8 cash in on the over themselves. Give me another underdog. I like the Spurs plus 7 in the over, 228.5 in that contest. And with that, we're going to slide into our next and final matchup for the show. It's going to be Lakers Jazz, 9 p.m. Eastern tip-off. The Lakers are the 6-point favorite. Total's 217 and a hook. The Jazz are plus $2 to win it. And if you like Utah plus the 6, they're catching even money to cover the point spread. The Jazz are coming fresh off a 16-point embarrassment at the hands of the OKC Thunder. Utah's dropped 2 out of their last 3, including a 9-point loss to Toronto as well. They scored just 92 total points in that affair. The Jazz have covered the number in just 2 out of their last 6 as well. And they have failed to cover the point spread in 7 out of their last 10 head-to-head meetings with the Los Angeles Lakers. All this aside, I mean, Utah's really in rough shape without Bojan Bogdanovic. Just a huge piece that they're missing right now. He's out for the season. They're taking on a Lakers team who's currently got the best record in the West. They're 50-15, 35 games above 500. LA's won 5 out of their last 7 games, and they're 60% against the spread in their last 10. They rank in the top 3 in field goal percentage, top 3 in points allowed. Anthony Davis is averaging 26.6 points per contest, which ranks 9th in the league. He's also averaging 9 boards a game, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. LeBron's averaging 26 a game, 8 rebounds, 11 assists. Kyle Kuzma is also scoring 13 a night with 5 rebounds. LA's in the top 10 in defensive field goal percentage, top 3 in defensive rebounding. Now, scoring-wise, LA's last 5 straight stayed under the posted number. 5 out of Utah's last 6 stayed under the posted total themselves. Give me the Lakers minus 6 and the under 217.5 in that matchup. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs. And from our Instagram platform, shout out to Shella Kebab Law, Blake Ritchie, Keaton Johnston, Tattoo Tom Kaselika. Shout out to Linway Yu, Charles Speckles, Atero Vic, Alex Taki, Randy Williams, and Nurse Iskali. And then finally, from our YouTube platform, shout out to the Known One Ochoa, SOP Striker from New Jersey, Ron Burgundy, Saw Sensei Master Drip Lord, David Sabota, Ant Ruga, Rickety Cricket, the Dingman C. Dinger, Chosen One Drew, and last but certainly not least, gotta give a shout out to my good friend, Robert German. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. We'll bill you the day you sign up, and then the first of every month following that, if you decide to get a membership here today. And with that said, guys, gotta thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Monday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.